Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sally, joined by my co-host, Katie. We're identical twin sisters. We invite you to join us as we investigate our similarities and differences in all things life has to offer. We hope you enjoyed this first episode in Twin Study After Dark. Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm one of your hosts, Sally.
And I'm your other host, Katie. And as you may have guessed, we are twins.
We are twins, and we sound incredibly alike. So if you have any trouble distinguishing who is who, just take that stress out of your hands and just listen to both of us talk.
Yeah, we're not going to go Katie now speaking, Sally now speaking.
You can talk like this. Katie, I am Katie.
I'm not going to change my voice. Sally tends to talk a little bit, I think, louder, and that's just my personal opinion, but
I sound happier.
Faster.
I think I'm happier.
Maybe faster.
Katie's more monotone.
A little more high pitch. Although, we don't know that yet.
We don't know that. We're going to be listening with you, so
and
you can tell us all the secrets to distinguishing who is who.
Yes.
So as this is our first podcast for Twin Study, we just wanted to kind of talk about ourselves a little bit before we get going. So I'm Sally. I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 4 children. I'm the author to Mixed Up With Me. And I'm also now a podcast host.
Cool. I'm Katie. I'm Sally's twin sister.
Oh, that's important.
I'm going to lead with that one. I'm also a mom of 1 son, and I am an artist working in corporate America.
I think that I would have described you similar to how you described yourself. I would have said that you're kind of a boss because you literally are one.
Well, thank you.
At home and in the bedroom. No, just kidding.
You know what's so funny is I was about to say in the bedroom and I withheld because I was like, that's so inappropriate.
No, you're in. This is why it's Twin Study After Dark.
So we should explain why we're even making this podcast to begin with.
Okay. Do you want to say it? Because I don't know.
So, well, we had a conversation. We've had a few conversations, and essentially we find it fascinating that we're twins. You know, we've been told by a few people that perhaps we're 1 soul in 2 bodies. To each their own. We don't know if we believe that or not. I think that's probably pretty accurate, but we have entirely different experiences in life. We've spent years apart. We've also had very different, I would say, life experiences when it comes to finding our significant other, our building a family, building our career, but we were raised very much the same by the same parents. So we just started thinking about, with all of what we have that is been the same, how did we end up so different? And so what we want to do on this podcast is go through perhaps current events or different topics, and each week we're going to discuss them from our own perspective and see if in fact, because we're twins, we're going to align, or if maybe we'll have different opinions, and hopefully there's some entertainment value in this.
And after all the episodes, we will no longer talk to each other. That's basically what's going to happen. Yeah. No, we are really excited. Katie is someone that I really value her opinion. So even though it's a different opinion than mine a lot of the times, we know each other well enough to know why we believe the way we do. So that's the cool thing about Twin Study After Dark.
The After Dark part is...
we are both moms. We both work to some degree. And some more than others.
And we might get a little spicy.
After dark. So, we will tend to put a warning, I think, because sometimes you want to listen to it in your car with kids.
Yes.
But, if it's not one of those episodes, we'll say, this is a spicy twin study, or something like that.
Oh, spicy twin study.
Yeah, we'll do, a code word.
All right. We'll have to take recommendations, too. If anybody has a good topic
we'll just say, discuss. We'll say only for the extra credit students.
Ooh. Wait, why are we going back to teaching?
Well, because it's twin study.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Study.
Got it. We're figuring this out as we go.
Yeah. So enjoy our,
so
banter.
This... How many times can I say the word this?
This is amazing.
This podcast really just came to be from a conversation we were having on a road trip that we just recently took, which is what we're going to be talking about today. But I would say that this is the first of many, so it's going to be the rough one. It's probably going to be the
least edited.
Least edited and least planned.
Because our editor will be Adam himself, my husband. So he'll get better with time, too.
Wow, you're name dropping already. I'm not name dropping anybody in this first episode.
I have a ring on my finger and you do not.
Okay.
So,
all right. So,
all right.
Like we said, we decided to make this podcast on a road trip. And the road trip, we decided to go to Savannah together. And we were meeting a mutual friend there, a childhood friend, actually. But where she lives is kind of, the halfway point between both of us is Savannah, Georgia. So that's why we landed on that location.
So I, being Sally, I told Katie certain jobs that she had to do before the trip. For instance, she wanted to book a psychic. I booked the psychic. She wanted to book a ghost tour. I booked the ghost tour. So Sally took I took control of the situation, and I basically planned our weekend.
Okay.
Is that correct? So I found
I
found a psychic. I found the psychic, and St. Augustine, they were all booked up. Savannah, they were all booked up, but that's a story for later. So anyway, the psychic I found lived in Jacksonville. And I didn't really have much on her except for that she was relatively inexpensive and she could get us in. So we started driving, and when we arrived at her place, it was like a beautiful place. So we drove in, and it was a nature preserve. She was on water. It was like the most cute little house ever. But she welcomed us, and you could tell from the get-go she was very, very like spiritual. She definitely took this craft very seriously. But anyway, when we went in there, we sat on a couch together, and she performed our reading.
Okay, so Sally and I, we love anything to do with paranormal, psychic, mediumship. Sorry, my cat is coming for our
He's going to join.
Microphone right now. And so if you hear purring, meowing, whatnot, that's Enid. Enid is a male, and he's the cutest little black cat you'll ever see. Anyways, he's part of this now. So going back to our story, Sally and I love anything woo. So naturally, whenever we go someplace new, especially traveling to a location that is, has a big art culture or spiritual community, we try to see a psychic. And it's just because we're curious. We like knowing a little bit more outside of this one dimension. So we have no expectations going in. We honestly thought, this might be the one time in our life that neither of us really were searching for answers.
Yeah, I felt like we both came in and we were like, well, whatever we get out of it, like, that's fun.
Let's just have fun.
Yeah, we weren't, like, looking, and I don't think we've always been like that. There's been years where we were like, I really want them to say something. Yeah.
Especially, like, in the lost years where it's like, just tell me when things are going to get better.
Like a month ago.
Like, that was at least a year ago, but yeah. And then you're always just disappointed when you leave when they're like, it's going to be another year.
Or they're like, I see someone in the future for you in 10 years.
Or yeah, basically, it can go south real fast. But
if you have expectations.
We had no expectations.
If
you have expectations, and that would be one piece of advice I would give to anybody going to find psychic, is do not have expectations. Don't expect anything. And a lot of what they say does not make sense to you at the time, but then looking back, you make sense of it.
So also you take it with a grain of salt, because there's some that are maybe probably more
practiced.
Yeah, than others. So anyway, we arrive at this psychic medium's house. She is a gentle soul, you can tell right away. But right away when we sit down, we sit on opposite sides of the couch, and she gives us 3 descriptor words that supposedly our loved ancestors that have passed gave her to describe us.
So basically, before we arrived, she had asked her spirit guide to contact our spirit guide and our past loved ones and all of our, our soul tribe that surrounded us on the daily. So by asking that, she received 3 keywords to describe both of us to get a better understanding of us.
And we thought this would be super fun to share today because you guys don't know us that well yet either. So we just wanted to go over these real quick because I think we both might have given different words to describe us, but also, yeah, these words are very, very, I guess we'll see. So the 3 words that described, do you want to go first?
No, because I don't remember mine. I don't remember.
All right. So the 3 words that I wrote down that she said my ancestors supposedly told her was that I'm kind, noble, and bright. So all of them very, very positive, honestly. Which I really was like, thank you, ancestors, because you could have said, like, I mean, you've seen the worst of me.
Well, I also thought noble was such a great word because it's not used as much as it should.
What is the definition of noble?
I don't use it as much as I should use it. I think that, that's a great question.
I don't even know. I'm like, noble. It reminds me of a book.
The wildest thing is I used to go to a boot camp and there was a man named Noble and his parents named him that. And I was like, that's such a cool name. But I feel like it has a lot to do with your integrity. Like, to be noble, it's to have integrity.
Can you look it up real quick?
Yeah. So
kind, noble, and bright was Sally.
Let's see. Having or showing the fine personal qualities or high moral principles and ideas, belonging to a hereditary class with high social or political
those are
size.
like the nobles.
I'm just saying, this are the definitions.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can interpret however you would like to. That's how it's described per the Google.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's integrity. I think it's high integrity.
Okay. Well, I'm okay with that.
So what was your other words? Bright and
kind. Pretty basic.
Pretty basic. Bright is a sweet way to say...
Sometimes she has ideas.
Yeah, intelligent.
Yeah, but like sometimes like... So my whole life I've kind of been known as like maybe not the most intelligent friend. So
it's just like... You weren't known as that.
Oh, was that my self-inflicted word? So
I think so. It's what people put on you that you internalized.
For sure. Maybe. Yeah. So I'm usually like bright and bubbly, but that also comes with the... I guess sometimes people think you're not as smart.
Well, the thing I liked about the word bright is that although it means...
Oh, true. Maybe it just means like bright and shiny.
Well, no, I like that it has a double meaning. I like that, like, you are, like, sunshine, you know? I feel like that's very, very accurate to who you are, but you're also intelligent. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of intelligent people that would not describe as sunshine.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if everybody that knows me very well would describe me as bright all the time, but I think sometimes I can be bright.
You can be bright.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's one of your 3 key traits.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so what were your 3 key traits?
So the ancestors, or whatever, spirit guides, whatever she wanted to describe them as, she described me as sharp, clever, and genuine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's think about this. So sharp, which is hilarious because we were just talking about when we were in an escape room with some of our friends, Katie was maybe the least helpful person in the room.
All I did was pay for the experience.
Yes, she paid for the experience and then she
contributed
basically
nothing.
Walked around in circles.
I may have had like 5 glasses of wine to me, but still, I really don't think that's like my best. That's
sharp.
It's definitely not my best.
Maybe they're telling us traits we need to remember about ourselves. Like, you have this in you. Where is it?
I think I'm sharp when it's something I really care about. I don't think like an activity like an escape room necessarily like is a place I'm going to utilize my sharpness. My craft. Right. It's like, put me in a scenario where I'm talking about themed entertainment or something that I absolutely love, then it's like, can't stop me. Yes. That might be part of the ADHD too.
Yes.
But I do think...
that's also an interesting thing we should note at some point in one of these episodes.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But I also think sharp doesn't need to be, as bright doesn't need to be solely about intelligence. Sharp could just mean that I'm sharp when it comes to boundaries or edges or black and white. Because
she's better at that.
I can be black and white.
Yeah, she can be like... pretty stickler where it took me maybe a couple more years to figure things out. She can be pretty black and white about things.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one? Genuine?
Clever and genuine.
Clever and genuine. Did they mix us up? They might have mixed us up.
I think that you really want to be described as clever and genuine.
I'm not clever or genuine. No,
I'd love to be described to as kind.
I mean, kind, that's so boring though.
But kind is different than just nice.
I feel like clever is maybe one of the best words to be described as. Because,
really?
Yeah, clever reminds me of like Harry Potter.
See, but clever to me reminds me how
clever is I feel like that's a really powerful word.
See, okay, so what it triggers in me is that...
Oh, you're thinking manipulation.
I'm thinking manipulated. I'm thinking calculated. I'm not thinking strategic. I'm thinking, like, ulterior motive when I hear the word clever, but I think that's... stems from me.
And I don't know that side of you, because I think you're maybe that at work, but you're not that
I
way
don't
at
think
home.
I am that way, though.
See, these ancestors, they got us mixed up.
I don't know. Or do you think you're clever?
I think I can be quite sharp.
I don't know. I don't think the ancestors got us mixed up, but I do think that
we are also one soul.
These are interesting traits.
Supposedly.
And it is a little bit strange to experience somebody telling you what you are.
So I will say, I do think that you are 100% genuine in all of your emotions. When you are mad, you're mad. When you are happy, you're happy. When you're crying, you're crying. And you are so genuine with your emotions. Like, you wear them on the heart of your sleeve.
That would be one of the words I think that she got the most correct out of all of them.
No, I think again, though, like how I feel like I'm the dumb friend, you think that you're not as smart either sometimes. And like, but you are. I think I'm very selectively smart in certain scenarios. When you care.
Yeah, exactly. And
when you want to have
and
fun,
I do
you're gonna
think
have fun.
that in those, if I really care, I can be clever.
Yeah, true.
And I think it's like finding the workarounds or like getting what you want with logic, and there could be some strategic element there.
I think you are genuine, though. So I will say that. You say things and you mean them.
I think my being genuine has been to a fault a lot of times. Like,
Yeah, as it can be.
yeah, exactly.
For sure. So, anyway.
Okay.
We read the psychic. She started off by giving us her 3 key, basically, describers from our ancestors, and we said thank you to our ancestors. But...
Oh, should we go back to... Okay, we're not going to rewind, but let's
No!
just move forward.
Okay, so she started the psychic experience very particular. I've never gone through something like this.
I've never had a psychic experience with this either, but she basically told us that she wanted us to close our eyes. She was going to get ready for a meditation. And, I think that's a great way to start a psychic mediumship, is to start with the meditation.
Maybe we can do the meditation for
calm
them.
our nerves. That will be a different episode.
Okay, but can I describe it? Because you're talking too fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so she says so we sit down on the couch. Before she even gives us our 3 words, she sits us on the couch and she goes, okay, to get everybody in a more relaxed state, we're going to do just a guided meditation. I just want you to relax and close your eyes. And
You're about to take them through the whole thing, aren't you? That's what you're doing.
I'm not taking them. Well, no, because you're interrupting me.
Okay.
So how could they possibly relax?
By all means, close your eyes. And let's tell you, take you through this guided meditation.
And my voice will sound like this.
Okay.
So anywho, we are closing our eyes. Well, because I was kind of gauging her, like, is she going to close her eyes? And she did. It was like a serious thing. So we sat down on the couch. She said, I'm going to take you through a guided meditation. And she starts and she says, okay, you're walking along a path. And on the path, you see a gate. And don't make any comments because we'll comment after.
Okay, fine.
You'll see
I can't comment on your voice right now. Just go on.
I'm trying to mimic how she sounded.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
We're giving this person's identity away. Like, you show up to a house, she has... No. Okay, go on.
I will not name the psychic because she deserves privacy.
Yes.
Okay. But she had blonde hair.
Stop it. Stop.
Okay, okay, so we go to this house and, get a meditation. You're walking along a path and you see a gate. And we open the gate. The gate opens for us and you walk through. When you walk through, you are immersed inside a forest. The trees are very, very tall. What do you see when you look around the forest? Oh, okay. I think you imagine an animal next to you. You and your spirit animal gently go on a stroll together through the forest.
I don't think she even said forest. I think she said this beautiful...
Oh, no, she did say forest.
Okay.
She said, though, at first, yes.
It was more vague. Yes, okay.
She said a beautiful place, and then she said a forest. After I already was, thinking flowers, trees, she was like...
I was thinking,
and now
wait, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
She was, basically reading your mind. So, anyway...
She's a psychic medium.
Okay. So
what?
Okay. So anywho, we're walking through the forest with our spirit animal, and she says, "You come upon a very giant tree, and
Sorry, it's hard to say it without laughing.
You come upon a very giant tree, and you're looking at the tree, and next to the tree, you see a figure. This is a person. You don't.
No. She doesn't say person.
Oh, doesn't say?
She says, you see someone, it's your spirit guide.
Okay.
What do they look like? Do they have a name? You know what? If they don't tell you their name, it's okay. Just know that's who they are.
But she was kind of like, is it a woman? Is it a male? Like, kind of like asking us to, like, imagine what we see.
Yeah.
So, anywho, then the spirit guide takes us to a bench. And on the bench, we just sit down, right?
Yeah.
And then after we sit down for a little bit on the bench, then she leads us out of the gate and leaves the gate open for our reading.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is what her opening was. And then we, like, wake up, or basically open our eyes, and then she's like, okay.
She dove right into the reading. We didn't have time to talk about, like, what we had just done.
No, literally no time at all. She was like, okay, you sitting right here, this, and this. So anyway,
The reading, okay, so just to, like, summarize, too. The reading after the fact was pretty long. It was probably almost 45 minutes after the meditation, and it was very in-depth. There's a lot to it. We're not going to get into it today.
She is definitely gifted.
She's definitely gifted. She definitely had a craft, and we are laughing about this now, but at the time, we were very serious.
Yes, and she was able to communicate with past loved ones, and a lot of things, like, really made sense.
Yeah.
So I would recommend her, but I guess I gave basically her away to the point that people can stalk her now, so I'm not going to.
So, okay.
Someday I'll give credit to her.
We leave after the meditation, after the complete reading, we leave. And like I said, it's probably an hour in total, and we get into the car, and we have to drive the 2 hours to Savannah, so we have plenty of time to talk.
And I'm like actually feeling kind of down because I'm like, wow, that was really heavy.
It was just a heavy read.
Yeah.
Like we said, past loved ones came through, and it was just like we released so much in that hour span that we got into the car, and Sally was, first off, starving, and second off,
I didn't really want to talk.
No, we were quiet. So it probably took us like 15 minutes to even get into talking about the situation. So we both, should I say my experience and then how I asked you what your experience was, or how do you want to go about this? I'm just gonna go for it. So so in the meditation, it was really sweet. It began like, I was like, who are your spirit animals? And I visualized a doe, like a deer, coming towards me and being this nurturer spirit guide of mine that stays very close to me. And it was close to me, like right up against my side the entire time. And when I would look up, I would see an eagle flying above me. And so the eagle, I felt in that moment like that was my protector. So I really felt like I had two spirit animals that constantly surround me, and one is a doe and one is an eagle.
Okay, so when Katie shared this was funny because I also had two spirit animals.
Like we couldn't just have one.
She literally said, you have one spirit animal, and we like both envisioned two.
Like, so, we need more.
Yeah, so we're like, animals, come to me, which is very, very on brand. So my spirit animals was, I envisioned a horse coming to me, almost like a nurturer. Again, like I envisioned myself nuzzling its nose and like being all cute. And then I had a Labrador. Like
what color horse was it? We have to know.
Okay, so I would say it was darker. I would say it was black with like a white down its nose.
Okay. Oh, like a stallion.
Is that a stallion?
I don't know. Is a black horse a stallion?
But he has white on his nose.
I don't know. It's like cats. They say they're black, but they always have white on them somewhere.
Okay, this is like not the only time I've envisioned this horse. So if somebody wants to buy me a horse, like...
Oh, well, you know what? You're probably envisioning it because it's your spirit guide.
Oh, damn.
Spirit animal. Spirit animal.
I also think that maybe I just need a horse. But anywho, we need a bike.
This is a very specific one. I've heard people describe horses very basic, where it's like brown with a white strip down their nose.
Oh, no, it's dark.
I would say
dark
it's
a dark horse. And
right.
so
it's
sweet.
Not white horse.
I cuddled it.
It's a dark horse.
Okay, so anywho, I cuddled the horse. And then I was like, okay, we're going to go on this journey. And then I looked down at my side, and there's this little Labrador. This one was weird, though. It was a yellow lab.
A yellow lab.
Yeah, and this is embarrassing.
Like the lab that greeted us when we sat down at this
is a little
house.
Okay, so this is a little bit embarrassing. She had a yellow lab. So her yellow lab came on my journey with me.
Tell me that you envisioned the
well,
dog
because
that was
that's
sitting
embarrassing.
in the room. It literally was sitting in the went with us.
Okay, so that one came on the journey with us. But it was either maybe that
Can
one.
you imagine if like she's a medium and she can travel with us through these experiences?
And she's like, she
but
took
her
my dog.
Her dog is also a medium, and he's like, I'm going along for the ride. Like, I'm hopping in on this meditation.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll say I've never been like drawn to Labradors, but like that lab was definitely next to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
anyway,
that
lab
one. It was. I don't know.
I don't know if it was that one. It did feel like a girl.
Yeah.
Wasn't hers called like Cupcake or something?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Oh no, we're giving her away.
Okay.
Guys, don't Google medium with dog named Sugar.
My horse didn't have a name.
Okay.
Sally, I have a far less imagination than Katie sometimes, so maybe I was like literally just like, oh, I just saw this. Okay, so anywho, we both envision two animals. So we're in the car, we're talking.
And one is like very much a protector animal, and one is very much like nurturer animal.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and one's down at her side, and one is kind of higher than us, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So that was our experience, and then we get to the part.
If you want to say, was the lab floating above you? Like, what's going on there?
No, he was just walking alongside of me.
Oh, but you were looking up at the horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the horse was above me.
Okay.
Like I was like literally like, I don't know, like
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. We get to the part where we see this giant tree,
And she says that our spirit guide, mind you, that's different than spirit animal, is standing next to the tree. And for anybody who hasn't like done a lot of research into this, spiritual realm, typically you're surrounded by your angels, past loved ones, and spirit guides.
She said we had never met this one,
but
it was the main one.
What? She said we've never met them?
Yeah, she said they're not going to feel recognizable.
Oh, right. No, they're not a past loved one.
Yeah.
So, like, I think you worded that poorly because, like, you've known them your entire life.
Yes,
your
Katie.
entire
Okay,
existence.
okay.
They're always with you, but they're not going to be a past loved one. In
Okay,
our
so anywho.
belief, there is a spirit guide that's been with you, and
in her belief.
her belief as well.
Yes.
So this is something we both have believed, but we've never gone and tried to seek out our spirit guides or meet them. So, until now.
No, that's what I meant. Like, this was a new thing for us. Like, we were like, who is this person? Or what is this thing? So anyway, we come to the tree in our meditation. We're not communicating with each other. And she says, envision this humongous tree, this towering over you. And next to it is your spirit guide. And so in my brain, this is Sally. So what was going on in my brain at that point was literally almost like a rolling of the dice. Like, I remember being like, old women, man, young boy, like up old, like I feel like I was like rolling the dice in my mind, and like my dice landed on, oh, it was an older woman.
Yeah.
And then how did
my
Katie's
experience was very straightforward. I looked at the tree, I felt an elderly presence that was absolutely female. So mine was very, very matter of fact.
Okay, so Katie's like very serious in the car right now, talking to me, and she's like, what was your spirit guide's name? And she's very concerned, like, oh, this is so beautiful. And do you want to say ours at the same time?
Well, yes, and then we'll talk about how we got there.
So
our spirit...
1, 2, 3.
Willow. Okay. So Sally goes, my spirit guide's name is Willow. And I go, what the fuck? And I was seriously? And I was like, mine was named Willow, but I convinced myself that it was named Willa. Like, it was ridiculous.
It was like an older woman, and she was like, I'm Willa.
Okay, but so when I was in my meditative state, I think like older female energy, and that name just popped into my head. During the meditation, I'm like, are you just thinking Willow because you're near a tree and like Pocahontas and Mother Willow? And our
spirit guide is literally Mother Willow.
So then I convinced myself it wasn't Willow I heard. It was Willa. But I was like, I know this is the name. And then when
we're talking about it, I'm literally like laughing hysterically. Like, we are dying because we're like, we both said Willow, but like also you come across a big tree, like what do you associate that with?
Like how prominent was Pocahontas in our childhood?
In my mind, I was literally like, Mother Willow. She has long hair and she's maybe Native American standing next to the tree. Like I was like thinking, oh, she feels like someone I definitely know. Like she can connect to me on another level. And then like when Katie's was like that, I was like, oh my God, did we just watch Pocahontas?
So basically
too much?
After we talked about this for probably an extended amount of time, too long, we came to the conclusion
Katie refused, by the way. Katie refused, by the way. Stop. You refused to call her Willow. You're like, no, she's Willa. Her name is Willa. And I was like, no, it's Mother Willow. Okay. It's Mother Willow.
So, again, going back to the theory that twins are one soul in two bodies, it could make sense that we have the same spirit guide.
That would make sense. It's funny that we both thought the same.
It's fucking weird. And then,
but not that weird, because, what do you associate with a big tree?
No, but also, we need to reach out to this medium and see if her meditation is the same for everybody, because what we decided to come to terms with the fact that we're not, completely obsessed with the movie Pocahontas, or that it, was ingrained in us since, first grade to, think of this.
Oh, my God.
Is that...
Oh, God,
our spirit guides told our medium before we got there, the only way they're going to recognize me is if you create this visual, and they will know my name with this visual.
If you give them a large tree,
they will know my name.
Say Willow.
Yeah, exactly.
However, if that is the same thing she does for everybody,
then
99% of the United States probably that are born in the same time as us might have a spirit guide named Willow.
And we're also talking about the Disney animated film Pocahontas, by the way.
It came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
There was Pocahontas.
Yeah.
And Sean Smith.
Most people know now that we've said
there was a raccoon named
Just
Nico.
Watch the movie. It's dated. It's terrible.
And a dog named Percy.
Yes. But we loved watching that as children because there were animals in it.
Which, honestly, they're not even a big part of the movie.
No. But at the time, they seemed important.
Yeah, they did. And so did Mother Willow, apparently.
And Pocahontas. And it was just, there's beautiful elements about that movie. There's also terrible elements.
We decided that our spirit guide may or may not be...
It is. We're going to say it is.
It's Willow. We've contrived her in our mind to connect with her through Pocahontas. So, Mother Willow is... but Katie's going to call her Willa. Katie's going to call her Willa.
We should invite everybody to try to do this meditation after listening to this podcast, and we'd love to hear who you come up with.
Exactly. And, if your peaceful thing that... Because she was like, you're amongst... flower or amongst a beautiful scenery, and me and Katie eventually which is surprising, we went to the woods. We both did, because I would have thought I would have gone to the mountains or the beach.
When she started her meditation, and I think you said forest, but she really didn't say that in the beginning. I think she said at first, envision that you're in the most beautiful place you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And both of us went to flower field,
which is not us, actually.
Not really.
No,
I would have been on water,
I would have been in the mountains.
Yeah. But we both.
So for whatever reason, we ended up in a forest.
A flower field. With
she did say forest, though. I remember because
she led us there.
Yeah, she led us there because all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, is she reading my mind right now?
Yeah, totally.
So anywho, that was a funny story. Willow is with us today. And she might be every podcast of the way, but
we'll just make nods to her.
Yeah, Mother Willow.
Yeah, so...
Even though Katie calls her... Are you going to call her Mother Willow or Willow?
I'm calling her Willa, because she is Willa in my mind.
Mother Willow, I'm sorry. Can you please put a dream in Katie's mind so she knows your real name?
I'm just going to call her Willa, and she's going to be like, yeah, that's our special name for each other.
Okay. Then we go to our Georgia weekend. And we're just going to recap 2 stories.
Okay, because I feel like we have to be fast about this.
Okay. First of all, rate Savannah on a scale of 1 to 10 for people that need to visit it. 1 to 10.
10 to visit. You have to.
Yeah, 10 to visit. I agree. Savannah was a great city.
Yeah, you can't not visit Savannah.
There's so much good history. Take a tour, take a ghost tour, take a tour, and it's worth it. So, okay. So, the first night story, we just need to tell, right?
Do we? So, okay.
Do we? Hi, everyone. It's Sally. We're going to leave our story there for today and pick up next week on Twin Study After Dark. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, please rate, review, and subscribe. We'll meet again next week for more Twin Studies. Bye.